Hello, I'm Allie, and this is my English Honors Project. The Victorian style of cake has been very popular in recent years, but where did it come from? From the woman who said, "Let them eat cake" herself. In the 19th century, Marie Antoinette made the Victorian style of cake very popular. She would always have these big, beautiful, elegant cakes with detailed piping and ruffles and shiny cherries at her big events. And then about another 100 years later or so, in 1934, a British pastry chef named Joseph Lambeth created a book, and he threw the over-piping technique back into mainstream. The elegant cake has been very popular in recent years, and for a good reason. It's a beautiful cake, and you can customize it with any color. Surely many people with some prior cake decorating experience would love to up their skill and create a masterpiece such as one of these Victorian style cakes. So by the end of this video, anyone with a little bit of decorating experience will know how to make a blue themed Victorian style cake. And with that, let us decorate. Not so fast there. We cannot begin decorating until we go over some special terms. First off, buttercream. This is what you use to ice your cake, to decorate your cake. This is the icing that goes on your cake. Next off, a piping bag. This, you put your piping tip or cobbler in, and then you use it to pipe on your details. Next, a scraper. It is a rectangular little piece of plastic or metal that's got a flat edge, and you use it to smooth your cakes. Next up, your turntable. Now this spins, and you put it on your table, and you put your cake on there, and it just makes your decorating experience easier. And lastly, a couple of borders that I will go over right now. To begin, we have our simple shell border. To do this, you basically squeeze a dollop and then pull it out. So you squeeze and pull, and squeeze and pull. And when you get good at it, you can do it faster. Next, we will have our reverse shell border. So this is switching between over and under swirls. So they're basically just like circles, and you go under and switch it to over, and then under and over. And lastly, we have our ruffles. This will be done with a 104 tip, and you want the narrow side towards you, and you just create a line, but you overlap. So you go pull and back, and that's what that looks like. So you're going to pull it and then go back, and pull and go back. And then now that we know all of our special terms, we can get on to decorating our cake. So first off, you are going to begin by prepping your buttercream. You're going to take half of your buttercream and put it into your biggest bowl. And let me say that this was not enough buttercream to decorate and ice my cake, so just keep that in mind. But there is about half of it. And then in your two smaller bowls, you're going to take the remaining and split that in half. And there's that. And then in your biggest bowl, since these are all blue, you're going to make your light blue for the base ice and the decorating. There's that. And in one of your smaller bowls, make it your darker blue. And in the third bowl, you're just going to leave it white. And there is my comparison of the dark blue and the light blue. And now to begin prepping your frosting bags, you're going to have 4 of them, one with the 1M tip and the other 3 with cobblers. You're going to slide the tip in there, and then you're going to cut the top plastic part off so that it doesn't get in the way of the opening. And there that is. And then to fill it, you're going to fold it down in half over your hand, and with either a spoon or a spatula, scoop it into the bag. And then squeeze it down a little so it gets to the opening, and there they all are. The white, the dark blue, and the light blue. And now with your baked and cooled cakes, you can begin assembling. Place your bottom layer, and with your open cobbler light blue bag, pipe a ring around the outside, and then fill the entire middle with your filling of choice. Here's strawberry jelly. And then after that, you're going to pipe another ring overlapping the outside ring and the filling, so that your filling does not come out of the sides. And there's what that looks like. And then you will place your top layer right on top of there. And then with your light blue and an open cobbler bag, you're going to cover all of the outside with your frosting. And with the top, swirl it so that it gets about the whole way. Then with your scraper, you're going to flatten the top first so that it gets all of the extra onto the side and your top is completely flat. And then you are going to scrape your sides until they are completely smooth. And then just go back over the top and grab any last corners that are sticking up, and then your cake is all iced and ready to be decorated. And here with that 1M tip, you're going to do your first piping. It's going to be a plain shell border around the bottom, and then you're going to take your white and put on a rose tip, 104, and then with the skinny side out, you're going to create your ruffle just right on top of that initial shell border. And then with your darker blue, you're going to put on a star tip and pipe another shell border on top of that ruffle line. And then with a cup or another circular tool, you're going to, in the middle of the cake, mark out little half circles so that you can create a sort of outline for your middle decorations. Again, with the white with the rose tip, you're going to have skinny side out, create more ruffle lines, but they're going to follow that guide. And then with your darker blue and the same star tip, you're going to pipe another shell border right on top of that ruffle line. And next, with your light blue bag, you're going to put on a number 3 tip and create drop lines. The first one dropping almost all the way down to that dark blue shell border, and then your next one dropping barely down at all from the top, and this will create a guide for your third and final drop line, which will go right in the middle of those two. Next, you're going to replace that number 3 tip with a star tip and pipe a reverse shell border on the very top of the sides. And then you're going to take your dark blue with a star tip and pipe a shell border right on the edge of the top. And then light blue, another star tip, another shell border, but closer to the middle. And lastly, a white with a star tip and one more shell border going towards the middle. And that is the Victorian style cake. And then your cake is perfectly fine there, but I'm going to add a few more details with my white and a star tip in between my middle and my bottom layer, a little dollop there, and then on the peak of each sort of half circle I'm going to add another dollop. And then to make any cakes more special and personal, writing. So I'm going to put a little message on my cake. And there is my final cake. And now that you have gone through all of that hard work, you will know that you are done because you've got a very beautiful cake that your family has already helped themselves to. And with that, let them eat cake. Thank you for watching my video.